What's going on, guys? Aggronix, welcome back to a brand new draft league. Today I'm very excited to finally announce a league that you guys already knew about. You already knew it was coming. It was only a matter of time. The draft just finished up. I'm happy to announce we are taking part in the ACL Season 2. The ACL is owned by Saigai. Saigai, very good friend of ours. Bastard always beats us, but we play him this season, so hopefully we'll take the win over Saigai this time. So if you don't know, ACL is a little bit different from other leagues. Not crazy different, but instead of 12 weeks, there are 15 weeks. You play everyone in the league, not like, selected people from your conference. You play every person. You play 15 people, 15 weeks. Best 6, I'm not exactly sure how the playoffs work. The best few go on to playoffs. And instead of 11 mons drafted, there were 12. And also, one more huge thing that I love about this league is that in the PCL and in the Elysian, it was weird because you had 3 Z-Mons in the PCL and you had one that was like your Ultra Z-Mon and then 2 that were just like ordinary offensive ones. And in the Elysian, they said you had 2 Mons that could use any Z-moves. In this league, there are 3 Mons you can use any Z-Mons for, or Z-moves for, which is awesome. I love that. Just because it makes prepping much more fun. And we drafted a really cool team, and a team I'm really excited to use. Mons I've wanted to use for so long. So before we get started, before I reveal my team, before I reveal the Z-Mons, reveal the schedule, all that stuff, make sure to heavy slam the like button down below first and subscribe if you are not already to become a member of the Aggronix. Well, the schedule doesn't really matter because we're playing everyone, but you'll basically see who we're going up against, which is nice. So, okay, so to give you a little bit of context on the draft, there were 16 people, like I said, and I was number 14, so I wasn't going to get Chiron Black. I wasn't going to get Zerora, the new electric type. I knew I wasn't going to get those. I wasn't expecting to get, like, I don't know, Victini and, Megalopony and stuff like that. I wasn't expecting to get that. So I kind of prepped my draft plan around that idea of not getting the mons that I wanted. Well, not really that. Getting mons that would come to me. And that kind of worked. I got a lot of the mons that I wanted, just not a few of the key mons. So my team did radically change throughout the draft because of snipes, which is inevitable. It is, to be expected. I'm actually surprised those mons did go, but they did go very early, so it wasn't like I had a whole team planned out and those mons fit the puzzle like perfectly and then they were taken. It wasn't like that at all. They were taken long before the parts were even set up, so fixing my team was not an issue. So the original draft plan to go into the draft was to get Latias round 1, to get Tapu Fini round 2, Zapdos and Tyranitar in some order for 3 and 4, and then get Mega Aggron later, whatever I could. Zapdos went before my first pick. So Zapdos, we did not draft Zapdos. I was going to, but it didn't even come to us. And Mega Aggron was taken a few turns after I drafted my second pick. So a lot of those happened. So yeah, those two didn't come. So I'm going to throw up my whole team on the screen like I usually do. I'll give you guys a few seconds to kind of digest what we drafted and see what we're playing with. So my team for the ACL Season 2 is Latias, Tapu Fini, Tyranitar, Mega Steelix, Salazzle, Delmise, Magnezone, Staraptor, Sandslash, Skunktank, Simeon, and Floatzel. A really cool team. I like this team a lot. I like this team a lot. Like I said, the plan was to get Latias, Tapu Fini, Tyranitar, Zapdos, and Mega Aggron. I got 3 of those 5. And to be honest, that to me is a success. That's a pretty successful draft. I wanted 3 mons, or I wanted 5 mons. I got 3 of them. That's pretty good. And then every other mon just kind of came with it. So let's start. So I drafted Latias. Latias is really great. It has defog, can be offensive, can be defensive. Great speed. I love its speed. 110 round 1 is really nice. And it can just kind of do whatever you want it to do. And as you can see, it is one of my Z-Mons, so I can use any Z-move, like I said. So not only is the offensive ones, it has access to moves like Z-Trick, which raises your speed. I don't even know some other ones. There's like Z-Magic Coat, which I think raises your special defense, maybe. I'm not sure. Z-Home Claws raises your attack by 2. So maybe, physically offensive Latias, maybe. Who knows? I didn't even know this thing got Home Claws. Wow. And yeah, it gets Ally Switch, which raises its speed by 2, which is nice, actually. That's really good. It's just a really good man, and it's just a really solid first round pick. Gives me a dragon, gives me a psychic types, gives me a ground immunity turn 1, which are, a huge deal because ground types are all over the place. They're so, freaking scary. I have 2 on this team, which is just a testament to how good they are. And Latias being immune to ground is just a huge thing for us. Also, resisting fighting is nice because in my opinion, fighting and ground are 2 of the most offensively threatening types in the game. That and fire, which actually Latias resists or is immune to all of them, so that's just great. And yeah, it gives us a really nice dragon and psychic type turn 1. So I paired that with Tapu Fini. Now Tapu Fini we did use in the what was that league called again? The Elite. We use it in the Elite alongside Landorus and Mega Tyranitar. And I did not like using that team, but Tapu Fini was one of my favorite mons from that team because every week it just came and it just did its job. It's just a thick wall. You're not going to break Tapu Fini unless you're hitting it super effectively. And it is one of my Z-mons, which is why I'm much more excited about using Tapu Fini than I was in the last league, because now I can use Z-Haze. A big reason why Tapu Fini was good but not great was because I had no reliable recovery except for leftovers. Now that I've put Tapu Fini as one of my Z-mons, which I should have done in the Elite, but now that I've done it in this league, Z-Haze is coming a lot. I don't know, every week, obviously not every week because, Latias might need to use it 1 week, or Magnezone, but I can tell you now Tapu Fini is going to have fun. But also, not only that, Tapu Fini actually got a bit of a boost, a bit of a buff this gen. Not a huge one, but it does now get access to knockoff, which is nice. If a mon has a choice scarf in front of Tapu Fini and I have knockoff, I can get rid of that. A choice band, a life orb, stuff like that. And I believe we got something else, but it's escaping me at the moment. Also means we can use the Rain Dance, so if we want to use like a sweeping Tapu Fini, we can. It means we can use that's about it. I don't know. I am really excited about using Tapu Fini, and I think it's going to be a great help to the team. What does Z Taunt do? I actually have no idea. And Z Refresh, actually. Z Refresh also heals you 100%, although I don't think we're going to be using Refresh because Misty Surge negates Refresh. But yeah, I'm really excited about Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini plus Latias is great because Latias is weak to what? Ice, Dark, Ghost, Dragon. Tapu Fini resists all of those except for Ghosts, which we then have Tyranitar, which is great again. So I wanted Tyranitar in this league for a few reasons. One, Tyranitar is just one of my favorite Pokemon. It's just such look at this fucking guy. He's just so cool. And I wanted to use him for a long time, and in the Elite I used Mega Tyranitar, and I really didn't like using him because it was so predictable. You can't run Choice Scarf, you can't run Banded, so it doesn't hit crazy hard. I didn't want to run Rocks, Stealth Rocks, because I felt like it'd be kind of wasting Mega Tyranitar because it's such has such a high attack stat. I feel like it was a waste to run it like defensively, which is stupid. It is stupid. I should have run it like Stealth Rocks, Taunt sometimes, but I didn't because I wanted to use it offensively, and then every time I brought it offensively, one of the biggest examples against Craft, I was really hopeful that Tyranitar would do work, and it just didn't. Whether it be a mix of it being too slow or being weak to so many things, because Tyranitar has a lot of weaknesses. Out of the 18 types, Tyranitar is weak to 8 of them, which is a lot. Then you take into account Tapu Fini has what? 3 weaknesses? Yeah, so Tyranitar has a lot of weaknesses, but I'm more hopeful that Tyranitar will be better than Mega Tyranitar because Tyranitar can use Choice Band, Choice Scarf, Berries, Assault Vest, so many more stuff, and obviously because it can use abilities. You can use items, and I can actually choose my ability, which is very important to me as well. Mega Steelix isn't going to come all the time, as you can see, and I'm not going to want Sand every week. So if there's a week where I don't want Sand to chip down my team, I can just run on Nerve, and that's fine. So Sand won't be up. I won't be taking chip damage on my other mans, and Tyranitar will just be a nice bulky mon, and it'll be a great time. And I like that. It's a small thing, but I think it's nice. And Unnerve is just a good ability in the Draft League. It's never really used, too much, but it's just, it's just nice. If my opponent preps a ton for Tyranitar and brings maybe say it runs a Colbur Berry on a Mew. Take Mew. And he's like, all right, I'll live the crunch. But then I come in and I'm a Nerve, not Sandstream. He's like, fuck, my Mew's dead. And all because he just didn't think of Unnerve, which I could totally see. I have no idea who has Mew. Whoever has Mew, oh, Alfonso has Mew. Oh, I'm gonna do that. Alfonso, if you're watching, I'm gonna do that. But Tyranitar is really, really good. I like Tyranitar a lot. It can run like supportive, which is very, very important to me. Like Stealth Rock, Taunt. You know, Thunder Wave. I think it gets, which is it gets Thunder Wave, which is nice. That's just really, really nice. Roar as well, Pursuit, and then it can just run straight offensive with a Dragon Dance, Rock Polish. Home Claws even. It can run special with Earth Power, and it gets Ancient Power now, I believe. Yeah, it does. So it's just such a great mon, and I'm really, really excited about using it because, like I said, I want to use Tyranitar for the longest time. It's one of my favorite mons, and I'm just so excited to use it. So that's Tyranitar. We're gonna stop blowing Tyranitar for a second. So like I said, Aggron was taken, and when Aggron was taken, I was like, fuck, I really wanted to use Aggron. However, I wasn't too scared because I knew I had a backup. And I wasn't like too upset about it because I was like, alright, I'll just get this mon. So we did draft Mega Steelix. I believe I drafted Mega Steelix immediately because by the way, this is the draft order that we drafted the mons, by the way. This is the exact order that we picked them. I went with Mega Steelix immediately because, for example, Salazzle, Delmise, Magnezone, if they were drafted, there's a mon that can take that slot. There's another electric type, there's another grass type, there's another ghost type, there's another fire type. With Steelix, there's no other mon that's as good of a steel type as Aggron that isn't already taken. Registeel was taken, which, by the way, I didn't want to use Registeel again because I didn't really enjoy using it too much. It's very, very good, but it's also really, really bad. It's a weird mon. It's just too passive for me, I feel. And also, Registeel doesn't work with Misty Surge because the whole idea of Registeel is that you click Toxic and Stealth Rock, and it can't do that with Misty Surge, you know? So Steelix, I felt, fit the core with Tyranitar perfectly, and also like the Misty Surge. I also felt like its ground typing was nice because that means it's immune to electric, helping out Tapu Fini just a little bit. And Steelix is a really, really nice type because it's immune to electric, but it's not weak to Hidden Power Ice, so it forces a lot of weird prep. And Magnezone is actually the same, so it forces a lot of weird prep, which I like. And if they run electric, Hidden Power, ground, then they can't hit Latias. So I feel like the synergy between mons is just really, really good, really, really good. Same with Delmise, actually. They can't hit Delmise either. So, Steelix great. Steelix is just really, really nice mon. It's not as good as Aggron, I feel, because Aggron is faster. It has better attack. Steelix is, you know, bulkier on the special side. And it is the same bulk, but Aggron is filter, so it's like back and forth. If you want to take on a mon that isn't super effective against both of them, Aggron is better. Well, no, I guess Steelix is better then, but Steelix has more weaknesses, so the give and take is that Steelix doesn't resist grass and ice and is weak to water, but gets an electric immunity, and Aggron resists all those things, but is not, you know, is neutral to electric, so that's the give and take with Steelix and Aggron. But Steelix does give us more points. Aggron, if you draft Mega Aggron, you get 20 points for drafting it. Steelix, you get 40, which actually did change my plan just a bit, because I actually had more points to play with, so that was good. So, like I said, I wanted to get Zapdos, and Zapdos was important because I wanted the base 100 speed, and there was no other flying type that I really wanted. So it kind of morphed my entire draft a little bit when Zapdos and Aggron went. So everything after this was kind of... By the way, this was a slow draft, so this was like over the span of like a week. So, you know, this draft was like, I did think about my picks a lot, so this wasn't like spur of the moment, like I chose Salazzle. I did actually think about it a lot. But I did go with Salazzle as my next pick because I wanted a poison type because Toxic Spikes are really, really annoying. They're one of the best ways to beat Tapu Fini because Misty Surge obviously negates like poison and stuff like that, but Toxic Spikes ignores that. You can Toxic Tapu Fini under Misty Surge with Toxic Spikes, I believe, because I think it comes in on Toxic Spikes, get poisoned, and then puts up the Surge. I'm pretty 100% sure. So, that was nice. Also, Fire type. Fire types are nice. I wanted a special, you know, wall breaker, which Salazzle can be, with like Choice Specs, Fire Blast are really good. Its speed is really nice as well. It complements Latias really nice. 110 to 117, that's a nice, you know, even gap. It's not too large of a gap. It's not too small. It's just a perfect size. And then, yeah, Salazzle, I mean, its coverage isn't crazy. It gets fire and poison, of course. And then it gets Nasty Plot. And it gets Taunt, which is cool. And then it gets Dragon coverage. But it gets a few cool moves like, you know, Fake Out and, you know, Disable, Encore. Nasty Plot obviously being the most important. But I think its fundamentals is what makes Salazzle so good. Just being an offensive fire and poison type is nice, because with fire and poison you do hit a lot of things. You hit, you single-handedly break a steel fairy core, which is really nice. And also corrosion. I used to think was a pretty useless ability. I never thought it was very good. Saigai has taught me otherwise, because Toxic Substitute Protect Flamethrower is a disgusting set, and a set that I will most definitely be using sometime this season because it is disgusting. Next we have Delmise. Now, Delmise was a funny one because originally I was going to draft Serena and Miss Magius. But somewhere along the draft, and I really like Miss Magius, and a part of me still wishes I drafted it. But I didn't really like Serena as a rapid spinner. And I wanted something that wasn't passive at all, which Serena isn't passive, I'm not saying it is, but I wanted something that could really force switches as well, because Serena doesn't really force a switch. Like, if you're a grass type or steel type and you're sitting in front of Serena, it's not going to touch you. Delmise is different because Delmise has a bit, the attack difference isn't huge, but the moveset is the big part, because not only does Delmise have stab, grass, ghost, and steel coverage, it also has earthquake, rock slide, fucking surf, and because of Ultra Sun and Moon, it now has access to synthesis, which is huge. Which means that Delmise not only is just like, before it was just a mon that I know people just ran like assault vest set, which is grand. Now you can actually run like defensive with synthesis and 3 attacks, which is really, really cool. I'm really looking forward to using this mon. I've used it a lot when I was helping Ian Ultimately Unlucky in the PCL. I was helping him prep with Delmise when he was using that. Actually, it was in the Elite, sorry. He was using Delmise. I was helping him use Delmise, and Delmise is a great mon. I've always loved Delmise. Its bulk is really solid across the board. Its typing is nice, and it actually meshes well with the mons that I've drafted: Latias, Tapu Fini, Tyranitar. There's a good bit of synergy there. So I really like Delmise a lot. And it gives us. Right now we have 2 defoggers and 1 rapid spinner, and we're not even finished. So I think by the way, the hazard removal on this team is, I think, the best I've ever drafted in any league. We have 2 rapid spinners and 3 defoggers. It's just insane. So it came around and to pick number 7, and I had a lot of points left. Because I got Steelix, gave us 40 points. My only pick that cost us any points is Tyranitar. I wasn't planning on getting a tier 1. Actually, sorry, I was sniped. The plan was to get Landorus Therian. Sorry, not Landorus Therian. Landorus Incarnate, ground and flying instead of Staraptor, and then have Magnezone be a tier 4, and then get like Electros or something like that. But the thing is, I didn't like a lot of the electric types, so I was a little bit iffy about that. And then Landorus got sniped, so I was like, okay, now I'm definitely going to get a higher tier electric type. And the only electric type that was left in tier 2 was Magnezone. Now, I don't actually know if there were any other mons. How do I... Can I show you... No, I'm not gonna risk you seeing this. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'll go to the tiers quickly. I'm trying to see if there's any other tier 2 electric types. I don't know if there were... Well, there are a few, of course. There was Rotom Wash, which I definitely didn't need at all. There's Zapdos, of course. Zapdos. There was Xurkitree, which was drafted at round 2. And then Raikou. Yeah, Raikou was a few of them, but they were all gone at that point. Which was unfortunate, but not the end of the world. So yeah, I did go with Magnezone. Now Magnezone doesn't really fit the team perfectly. It's another steel type. But I do actually really like it, and I'm excited to use it. It might not fit the team perfectly, but I think it does actually add a lot to the team. It gives me Magnet Pull. My team kind of struggles with steel types. If you look at it, Latias doesn't hit them well, Tapu Fini doesn't hit them well, Tyranitar, oh god, can hit them well, but it struggles with them unless it's like banded or something like that. And then Steelix, and Steelix does handle ground type or steel types well, and so does Salazzle, and Delmise doesn't really. So, but certain steel types can beat both Steelix and Salazzle. For example, Empoleon. Empoleon will beat both of them. However, Magnezone checks Empoleon really well. Other options are Skarmory and Celesteela. You also have, what other option? Even Mega Aggron, I guess you could say. I don't know. There are a lot of steel types there that can take on Salazzle and Steelix, especially with the right, berry or move set or something like that, or being choice scarf, something like that. So Magnezone being here is really nice. Also, electric steel is a cool typing. I like electric types a lot that aren't weak to hidden power ice or actually resist it. That's why I love Rotom Heat, because in the Elysian League, it was such a headache prepping for my team, and I know this because I tried. I tried taking my opponent's team and prepping for mine, and it was almost impossible because Celesteela, Zygarde, Rotom Heat is so annoying because you can't spam electric moves because of Zygarde is a Mewtwo, and you can't spam Hidden Power Ice predicting the Zygarde because if Rotom comes in, then you're stuck. So, and if you predict Hidden Power and go for Hidden Power Ice on Celesteela, you're taking a huge hit. So it's definitely a lot of headache, a huge headache to take on those mons. So Magnezone is the same thing. It resists electric, but it is also resists Hidden Power Ice. And like I said, the whole they can run Hidden Power Ground thing instead doesn't happen because Latias and Delmise are there as well, which is really nice. So I really like Magnezone. It gives us a huge special wall breaker, which we don't really have. Salazzle is decent, Latias is decent, but Magnezone is the key one. And I followed that up with Staraptor, which is basically my physical wall breaker. And I did choose Magnezone as one of my Z-Mons. Now, this might be a little bit weird because the mon that I was really considering was Tyranitar, because of course Tyranitar has such a huge coverage, and yeah, why wouldn't I? But the thing is with Tyranitar, I think most weeks I'm going to be running a berry, or I'm going to be running Choice Scarf, I'm going to be running something like that. I don't really expect myself to bring Tyranitar as any other thing, but Magnezone is different because Magnezone is the same thing, it could, Scarf, a berry, something like that, but it has this little move right here. See, Tyranitar has Dragon Dance. It has Rock Polish. It has all these moves that raise its speed. Magnezone has nothing except for Z moves. And this thing gets Ally Switch, which if you do not know, it also gets a Z Mimic, I think. Is it Z Mimic that raises your speed? Both of those moves raise your speed by 2, which is huge for Magnezone because Magnezone is not a very fast mon. If I set it up on the right mon, GG. Magnezone's gonna wreck your fucking team. It also has access to Z Rain Dance, which is nice. Just another thing, if I want to run Thunder, and I don't need the +2 speed, I can run Z Rain Dance instead. And my Discord went off. And it's just a really nice mon. Its coverage isn't fantastic, but it's really all it needs. It has Steel, Electric, and it has Signal Beam, and then whatever hidden power you need. And then, everything else, you either run Specs or something like that. And Analytic is a great ability as well. I'm talking about Magnapult, but Sturdy and Analytic are both two pretty good abilities as well. So, I'm really, really looking forward to using Magnezone. I think it's going to be a great mon. And, yeah, it kind of fits the team well. Considering we already have a Steel type, it does actually fit the team quite well. So, as you can see, we have a bit of a ground weakness. Tyranitar, Steelix, Salazzle, Magnezone, and needed a flying type. I went with Staraptor, because Staraptor was really the only mon left. The other options were Honchkrow, which I didn't really like. I didn't think it fit the team. I needed something that was fast. I needed a base 100, which was important. I was thinking about Braviary, but again, it's too slow. I was thinking about Dodrio, but I wanted something that could really, really hit hard and not think twice about clicking moves. Yeah, Dodrio is really, really good, but Staraptor is just on a different level completely. And this thing is just great. Staraptor is my physical wall breaker, like I said. I mean, I have, a Tyranitar, Delmise, which are very strong as well, but Reckless Staraptor, like a choice band, is huge. It hits so fucking hard. Brave Bird, Close Combat, what's it called? Double Edge, Facade even. I can run fucking Final Gambit, Lead Final Gambit, that could be fun one week, shouldn't it? Heat Wave even, which is cool. I can run against Scizors or something, or Fortress. I don't even think Fortress is drafted. U-Turn, which is nice. Big reason as well, Dodrio does not get access to U-Turn. I wanted to make a core with Magnezone and my flying type. A U-Turn Volt Switch core, which is important to me because I don't really have that so far. And I have that a bit at the end with Pissimian, but overall my team is kind of lacking that. But it still is there. The big thing though, it actually has access to Quick Attack, which is really nice because I'm also lacking priority. Actually, Staraptor, well, yeah, actually no, I have, Skunk Tank and, Floatzel at the end, but Staraptor was my first bit of priority, and it was priority I desperately needed, so I'm really excited about Staraptor. 100 base speed is really, really nice. It gives us a speed tier we don't have, and I think it just fits the team perfectly, in terms of speed tiers, in terms of typing, in terms of its role. I think it just fits the team perfectly, and I'm looking forward to using Staraptor a lot, because I actually helped Champ build a bit when he was in the PCL. He took over for the last 4 weeks after getting Staraptor, and I was building with him, I think, most weeks. And Staraptor was always like so fun to prep with because you can just do whatever you want with it. You can run Scarf, you can run Banded. You know, it's just either way, it's going to do a lot of work. It's just kind of up to you what you do with it. So Staraptor's really excited, and I'm really excited to use it. Really excited to use Staraptor. You have no idea. You have no idea. Staraptor's been a mon that I've wanted to use for a long, long time, and I'm so glad I found the excuse to use it because it is great. I'm going to stop though. Okay, so what is this? Round 8? 9, 10? No, 9. Round 9. I needed just a mon. See, okay, it's weird because I'm at the point in the draft where I kind of have every type that I need. How many types do I have? I have 1, 2, 3. No, sorry. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. The types that I'm missing are fighting. Wait. No, sorry, no. Steel, repeat. So I have 15 types. Types I'm missing bug, ice, and fighting. Ice and bug are pretty useless. You don't really need ice and bug. What I really needed is a fighting type. But I really wanted Sandslash, and I knew that the fighting type that I wanted would stick around. I knew Passimian would stick around, so I went with Sandslash first. The reason I went with Sandslash is because it gives us another Rapid Spinner, gives us another ground type, which is nice. You always want to have more than one ground type, and that's what I love. When I was using Mega Aggron originally, the reason that I did enjoy using Aggron, but I realized that you need another Steel type. You need another Steel type because Aggron can't come every week because then it comes way too predictable. And I like how that's what I've kind of done. Steelix doesn't have to come every week on this team because I have Magnezone for a Steel type and I have Sandslash for a ground type if I want a mon to fill those roles. I like that. Also, Sandslash, it has Sand Rush, which is nice. If I set up the Sand with Tyranitar, Sandslash, base 100 attack is usable with a Life Orb, and it actually has a pretty crazy coverage, like Earthquake. It gets Knockoff, Poison Jab, Stone Edge. You know, it's a pretty decent coverage. And Understand, you know, it's just fast enough to outspeed one of the scarier mons. So I like this thing a lot. And if I'm cheeky, I actually run Sandveil and dodge every attack. So that's also there. I like Sandslash a lot, and its shiny is oh wait, load. Oh fuck, man, I'm disconnected. Damn it. I'll show you its shiny. It's just, you know, spikes are red. It's just nice. So going into round 10. Again, I knew Passimian would stick around, and I really wanted another Dark type and another just types. I wanted to repeat my types. Now, I went with Skuntank. Now, Skuntank is one of the weirdest mons on the team because it doesn't really fit anywhere. I already have a Poison type in Salazzle, I already had a Dark type in Tyranitar, and Skuntank is weak to ground, which they're all weak to. So that is an issue, but its roles are so different. Skuntank is nice because at the moment, if you look at my team, it's kind of just wrecked by a fast Psychic type, like an Alakazam, or what's another fast Psychic type? I mean, I guess a Latios, or even like Reuniclus under Trick Room, Slowbro. Jesus, like so many Psychic types could just, if it has the right moveset like Psychic, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, it could do a lot of work against my team. Skuntank kind of negates that. It's nice. Also, gives me another Defogger, which is nice, which means it'd be my third Defogger, which is really cool. And gives me Sucker Punch in priority, gives me Memento, gives me Taunt. Yeah, just really good. I like Skuntank a lot. Gives me Haze, so it's not a hazard. You know, it's not a setup fodder. Oh, I guess Roar now, actually. I don't think it got Roar before, actually. I think that's new. And it's one of those mons where you can run physical and special. Its special attack is much less than its attack, but it's still enough for its coverage. Its coverage kind of makes up for its lack of special attack, to be honest. So I'm really looking forward to using Skuntank. I think, despite repeating the type, Salazzle, Tyranitar, and Skuntank, their roles are so far apart from each other that, you know, I think it's okay. The amount of taunt on this team is insane. I have Tap Affinity of Tyranitar, Steelix, which gets taunt, Salazzle. I think, does Delmise get taunt? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Magnezone, you don't. I think Staraptor does, I thought. Okay, so 4. 5? No, 5. And then 6. Right? Yes. Actually, I think Floats will get it as well. 7. I have 7 taunters on the team. That's really funny. Yeah, but Skunk Tank's great. I'm really excited about it. And Aftermath is a really, really disgusting ability. So we come to Passimian. And yes, by the way, yes, Defiant. Defiant is the reason that I wanted to draft Passimian, because in this league, saigai put it to vote, and he said, should we allow the hidden abilities for all the mons in Ultra Sun and Moon, including the starters, Oranguru and Passimian, and everyone voted unanimously yes, we wanted to have the hidden abilities. Surprisingly, actually, those mons weren't really drafted. Oranguru wasn't drafted. Incineroar was. Decidueye was. I don't know if Primarina was drafted. I'm sure it was, but I don't actually remember. But I did, the second that Defiant was allowed, I knew I wanted Passimian. The other fighting type that I was considering was Primeape. The only difference between Primeape and Passimian is that Primeape is a little bit faster, and its attack is 105, and Passimian is a little bit slower, hits a little bit harder, and is much bulkier, because Passimian has 100 HP, 90 defense, and 60 special defense, so with an Assault Vest you bring that puppy way up. And it also has enough HP to live Seismic Toss behind Substitute, which is just kind of cool. It's just kind of a good thing. It's just a bulky mon that I like, and I like its speed tier as well, because if you want to run Choice Scarf, it's perfect. It gets U-turn as well. Taunt, it's just a really, really good mon. I'm actually really, really happy about Passimian. And Defiant means, there's so many things that Defiant works against, Intimidate, Sticky Webs, so many things, it's really, really good. I like Passimian a lot. And its coverage is better than Primeape, because Primeape does not get access to... I don't think it gets access to Gunk Shot, but it definitely doesn't get access to Knockoff. Or like Seed Bomb, which is cool. So, yeah, I'm really, really excited about Passimian. And hopefully it's a lot of work for us. Do you get, folks? You do, wow. We're going to have to think about some sets, boy. So finally we come to the last pick of the draft. Okay, the reason I picked Skunk Tank as well is because my speed tiers were a little bit iffy. It goes from Sandslash to Passimian from the 65 to 80, which is okay. Mons that are about 75 speed have to run Jolly to outspeed a max speed Sandslash, or a max speed Tyranitar or Magnus or something like that. And Passimian base 80 is really, really nice, because if I run Choice Scarf, it's perfect. I have a lot of Choice Scarf options on this team. I mean, my god, I have Tyranitar, I have Magnezone, I have Staraptor, I have Passimian. They're all really, really good Choice Scarfers, and every other mon is just like to stop my opponent from sweeping me. So in terms of Choice Scarf options, they're really, really strong. So the last mon, I just want another mon over the base of speed of 110 from tier 6. No better than Floatzel. I was actually going to get Tauros. Sorry. I decided between Floatzel and Tauros. I decided Floatzel, and then as I decided Floatzel, Tauros was drafted, so I was like, oh, okay, it makes my fucking pick way easier. Floatzel is great. I used Floatzel back in the Elite. One of the stands out of that team, as well as Abomasnow, which are both like tier 6, like lowest tier, and they are both my favorite mons to use, which is very funny. Floatzel being a water type is nice. Gives us Aqua Jet, which is cool priority. Gives us Baton Pass, which is illegal in this league, so maybe I'll use it. I don't really want to, but I might, just to fucking stick 2 fingers up the saigai who allowed it and show him that it's busted. It's busted. But yeah, Floatzel really nice. If the Misty Surge isn't up, this thing can't get burned anyway because of Water Veil, which is nice. And Swift Swim is cool as well. I can counter sweep some Rain teams, even though I don't think anyone actually drafted Rain, which is really surprising. And Floatzel is just great. 115 base speed is really nice. Along with Salazzle, 2 mons over the speed of 115 or more is just good, and I think it's pretty good. So in terms of mons that are speed 100 or more, you have Staraptor, then you got Latias, then you got Floatzel, and then you got Salazzle. I think that's really, really good speed tiers. And then going down the ladder, you have Skunk Tank, then you got Passimian, then you got Sandslash. No, sorry. Then you go from Staraptor to Tapu Fini, to Skunk Tank, to Passimian, to Sandslash, to Tyranitar, to Magnezone, to Delmise, to Steelix. So I think it's actually, the speed tiers are really, really well laid out, so that Trick Room teams don't, just immediately sweep me, because I have mons like Steelix and Delmise that are very, very slow. Baton Pass isn't a huge issue, passing speed, because I have loads of priority in Staraptor and Floatzel and Skunk Tank, and actually I have Haze as well, which is nice. And then just all around, my hazard removal is great, my Stealth Rockers are pretty okay. I have 3, but they're all pretty good, and they're all different types, which is important. So yeah, what can I say? I guess I have a bit of a ground weakness, but I have Latias, I have Delmise, I have Staraptor, and I have Tapu Fini that will take on pretty much any ground type there is in the game, and Floatzel as well. So, I think it's okay. It's okay. And then rock types are just completely stopped by Steelix. Fighting types are just completely stopped by Tapu Fini plus Latias. They're never breaking that core. And stall teams, which there is a stall team in this league, are kind of broken down by the combination of Passimian and Magnezone Staraptor. So yeah, I really like this team. I'm really looking forward to starting this league, and I like how the latter half of the team is not vastly inferior to the former. Sandslash, Skunktank, Passimian, they're all good mons. I really like that. And they actually do support the team. They're not just there. They're not just filling a space. They actually do contribute to the team, which is very, very important to me. I hate having like a 9-man team with 2 mons there that you'll never use. That's just a waste of your time. But I feel like I will bring Floatzel this season. I will bring Skunktank, which is one of the big reasons why I didn't like Scyther in the Elysian. I never brought it. Not because it didn't have a good matchup, it's just because it didn't really contribute anything to the team. It didn't support any playstyle that I was trying to build, and I feel like these guys do, or at least help my speed tiers and my weaknesses. So really, really like this team. I'm really excited to use it. So like I said, my C-Mons are Latias, Tapu Fini, and Magnezone. Before we go, I'm going to finish this video off at about 40 minutes. We hit about 36 and a bit. I'm going to go through the schedule. Week 1 we play Flygon. Like I said, we play everyone in this league, so there's no, the rest of the schedule doesn't matter. Week 1 we'll be playing Flygon. In our conference, actually, we have Amph, Afonso, and Hitmontop Guy. I think you guys will definitely know who Afonso and Hitmontop Guy, and I think you'll know who Amph is as well. Amph was in was it the Elite? I think he was in the Elite. Yes, he was. So that's really good. And then Hitmontop Guy goes way back. We've known him for ages. Afonso is pretty new. He joined in the D League for the PCL. So that's a really, really cool conference. Other than that, we have Wolf Tash and Bryn Galactic. I don't know them very well, but hopefully I get to know them over the season. Alex, Swag Money, Lennon, Nickinator, and then Celebi, Saigai, Mike, Flygon. That last Salty Splatoon is that's a pretty tough division. I don't know. I don't know how these people play, so I'm not sure like who has the toughest division. I would say everyone in here, in terms of how they've drafted, is definitely. I would say everyone is pretty good. I think they know what they're doing. We'll take a quick look at other people's teams. Saigai drafted a pretty cool kind of Trick Room team. He drafted Heatran, Xurkitree, Donphan, Slowbro as well, Shaman. That's kind of nice. Swag Money drafted a really awesome team. Landor, Therian, Terrakion, Kyurem, Charizard Y. That's a monstrous core. With Starmie and Tapu Bulu. Oh, how is that legal? How is that legal? Yeah, that team was disgusting. Actually, I don't want to play. I don't want to play Swag. Galactic drafted Megalopony instantly. A tough team. She didn't actually. He hasn't drafted his final mon yet. The draft, like I said, it was a slow draft, but it just finished. But I don't think the last one would change too much. We can kind of get an idea what they're going for. Amph's team is great. Mega Charizard X Manaphy Zapdos is disgusting. Shadow Tash did draft a stall team, which is a very, very good stall team actually, because he does have mons like Superior and Flygon and Tauros to help him, and Dragalge as well. So actually a very, very good team. I actually really like his team. And then you got Celebi drafted Sunkern. We won't talk about Sunkern, but he did draft Eevee as well. So I don't know if he's taking this season. Oh, he drafted Primarina. Forgot about that. Yeah, I don't think he's taking the season too seriously, but it's still a nice team. I still do like his team. Alolan Sandslash is a little bit out of left field, but you know what? Rapid Spinner's Rapid Spinner, so I can't hate. What's the fastest mon on his team? Thundersterian is base 101. Infernape, I think Infernape is. Yeah, Infernape is the fastest mon on his team. Although he hasn't drafted his Mega yet. I think he said his Mega was going to be Mega Alakazam, but I could be wrong. Nick drafted Aggron, so he's going to win the entire season. That's just a fucking fact. His team is very, very good. Garchomp, Necrozma, Aggron, Galvantula, Alolan Muck. Wow, that's a very, very scary. Along with Vaporeon, Mimikyu. Oh fuck, that's scary, dude. This bastard here, Lennon drafted Mega Aggron. You bastard. And Landorus Incarnate in the fucking same draft. Also drafted Suicune, which is great. Haxorus, stuff like that. Sylveon as well. Scary stuff, dude. Scary stuff. And the Hitmontop Guy isn't quite finished. He hasn't drafted his tier 6, but his team is very, very good. Venusaur, Victini, Gliscor is very good. It's a very, very good core, I have to say. And then mons like Hydreigon, Licky Licky, Slowking just getting in the way. It's a very, very good team. I liked it a lot. Wolf drafted Zygarde 50% and Ferrothorn. He's going to do very, very well this season. Zygarde 50% is just one of the best mons in the draft league format, straight up. It's like, I know from experience, it's just so good. It's just so good. And his speed tier is pretty good as well because Jolteon base 130, and then I think it drops down to about Diancie, and then Keldeo, and then Zygarde. So it's pretty good speed spacing. So that's good there. And then Bryn actually drafted Celesteela and Mega Latias. That is terrifying. That is terrifying. And then Conkeldurr and Nihilego, Dodrio, Tangrowth. That's a really good team. I like that team a lot. And then Flygon drafted... Actually, Flygon is the team we're playing week 1. So we drafted Kyron Black, Florges, Arcanine, Espeon, Raichu, Purugly, Gyarados, Scolipede, Celebi, Hariyama, Blank, which I believe is going to be a tier 6. It will... Or sorry, no. It'll probably be a tier 5. Oh no, actually, it will be a tier 6. Yeah, it'll be a tier 6. So I don't think it'll affect this team too much. And then Mega Scizor. So really scary team. That's going to be a huge week 1 game because his team is awesome. His team is really good. I'm really looking forward to that game. I expect a loss. I expect a week 1 loss, to be honest. Oh fuck, we're not done. We've got fucking Alex's team, Tapu Koko, Mamoswine, and Empoleon right there. You see what I mean? Beedrill, scary. Yeah, that's a nice team. Actually, Alex, I'm looking forward to playing Alex because Alex actually, we did cheat him a little bit in the PCL this season. We did beat him handedly in our second game. However, there was a lot of hacks in that game, so I definitely playing him. Milotic drafted a very bizarre team. A team that I'm not sure if I really love it, but it definitely plays to his strengths because he used to use Fortress, and he's very good with spikes. He's very good at spikes and toxic spikes. That's what he's good at. So I would trust this team in his hands. I think he's going to do great this season. I can't wait to play him. Mega Gardevoir is just terrifying. His team is very slow though. His team is very slow. And he doesn't really have any like trick room. So we'll have to see what he does. Maybe the last mon would be like, oh, he has 100 points left. Oh, he could draft like a mon that like completely changes the outlook of this team, to be fair. So I won't say too much. Anyway, my team here, which I really like on paper. On paper, that team looks delicious. I love that team. I actually really love my team this season. And then we have Afonso, who hasn't drafted his tier 6 yet, but dude, Mega Glalie is cool because Mega Glalie actually has like decent stats. He drafted Thundurus and Karen, which is cool. He drafted Salamence. Fuck. He drafted Mew, actually. Mew, he's the one with Mew. I think I remember that correctly. And his fastest mon is Thundurus? Unless his tier 6 is like Ninjask, which hopefully it's not because that's disgusting. So yeah. A lot of really good teams. I think everyone drafted a really threatening team, and I actually legit cannot wait to start the season. If you guys are excited for the season, make sure to heavy slam the like button down below first and subscribe if you are not already. To become a member of the Aggronix, this is the team that we'll be using for ACL Season 2. Hopefully, this team brings us to a championship. We have 6 drops this season, so we might drop 1 or 2 mons here and there. But I don't really expect to, because this team to me right now is perfect. Unless someone wants to trade something that maybe fits the team a little bit better. I don't think I'm going to be dropping a single mon on this team, because so far, on paper, like I said, on paper, I love this team. So, my internet just went. That's funny. That's funny stuff. And yeah, with that being said, have yourselves a wonderful day. Join me for week 1 when we play Flygon. And yeah, bye-bye.